Hi everyone! So in this video we're going to work on some yoga skills or yoga poses that might be slightly challenging. However, we're going to work on step-by-step progressions in order to achieve them. So I've been practicing yoga and Ashtanga yoga in particular for the past 11 years, and I've been teaching yoga for the past 7 years. And what I love is sharing this practice and helping people achieve things that maybe previously they thought completely impossible. So as a beginner, some of these things might seem very challenging, and it's because they are quite difficult and challenging poses. However, for each of them I'm going to show step-by-step progressions that you can work on and help you at least know in which direction you should be moving towards. And so if you've got any questions, let me know in the comments below and let's get started. So the first pose we're going to work on is a headstand in this quite interesting looking lotus pose variation. Now if you're working on your lotus pose, I'm going to link a video above and that will help you deepen your lotus pose. But for now, let's work on this inversion progression. Get your yoga blocks, and if you don't have yoga blocks, you can also use books. Just make sure that they're the same height for each of your shoulders. And what we want is the shoulders on top of the blocks, and make sure your head barely touches the floor, so we don't want any pressure on the head. Now I love teaching especially my beginners this pose because it really helps with them build their courage for inversion. So if you're worried about being upside down, this is a really nice thing to work on. And then when you're ready, bend your knees and slowly come down. Now, if we felt comfortable in that option, we're going to now use the same option but work on some progressions. So again, get your blocks ready, shoulders very comfortably on the blocks, and in your own way, slowly come up. Now again, if you're feeling very comfortable here, what we're going to now do is work on some tree pose variations. So bring your right foot in, see about working on tree pose upside down like this, and now bring your left foot in. And of course, stay in each of these versions as long as feels right for you. And if you felt very, very comfortable here, let's now see about bringing the right foot into lotus. And again, if you feel right, bring the left foot in. If you're worried about this pose, you can always work with a friend and just make sure your friend keeps your knees close to the wall. So you can wiggle your feet in to come into a deeper lotus pose and stay as long as feels right for you. And then when you're ready, straighten the legs, bend at the knees, and nice and slowly come down. And stay in child's pose if you want a little break. So if that felt right for you, we're now going to work on headstand against the wall. So the wall is our best friend here. So elbows are shoulder width apart, bring your head onto the floor, and when you're ready, come up. Find the wall, stay as long as feels right for you, and what we're going to do is slowly come down. So again, if that felt right for you, now let's work on those previous options. So when you're ready, come up, find the wall again, and if it feels right for you, let's work on tree pose. So bring your right foot in, find the balance. It might feel a bit strange at first, and bring the left foot in. Work on that balance, and if that felt right for you, let's work on that lotus pose variation. And again, if you're worried here, bring a friend, make sure your knees are close to the wall. But if it feels right for you, let's find that lotus pose variation, send the knees up, and when you're ready, release, bend at the knees and slowly come down. Now this might take quite a bit of time working on these poses and these variations. Just take your time. If you're now working on headstand in the middle of the room, so you found your balance, let's see about working now on all of that without the wall. So find your headstand. Again, only if you're feeling super comfortable in headstand. Let's work on those tree pose variations. So right foot comes in, find your balance, and then bring the left foot in. Belly engaged,
shoulders away from the ears, headstand again, and now let's find the lotus pose variation. So right foot comes in, you're not going to find your deepest lotus pose, that's okay, and then bring your left foot in, wiggle the feet if you want to find a deeper lotus, find your balance, stay here as long as feels comfortable, release, and then come down any way that feels right for you. And stay in child's pose if you want a little break. So the next thing we're going to work on is wheel pose with one leg up. Now, if you're working on wheel pose, I've got a video I can link it above, but for now, let's work on some variations. So hands onto your heels and push up. So bring your hips up, and we're going to find a nice deep bridge pose here. So bring your shoulders a bit closer together, bring your hips up, try to have your feet parallel. And now what's going to help is bring the left foot to the center and bring the right foot up. Bring the right foot down. And let's come down. Make sure you were comfortable with that. Now, if you were comfortable with that, now let's work on it again. So bring the hips up again. Try to find a really nice and open bridge pose. And so when you're ready, we're going to clasp the fingers. And what's going to help is bring the left foot to the center and kick the right foot up. Now, this is a lot of work. Just make sure you're feeling comfortable here. Bring the right foot down, keep it in the center, and then bring the left foot up. You can keep it bent or straighten the leg. And gently come down. Now, if that felt right for you, let's now work on it in wheel pose. So hold on to your heels. I like to bring my hands underneath my hips. This is like a nice way to kind of deepen bridge pose, so you can do this if that feels right for you. And bring your hands next to your ears, head onto the floor, and inhale, push up into wheel pose. Now let's see about working on that. Left foot comes to the center, bend the right knee, bring the right leg up, stay here, or if you feel like it, straighten the right leg and come down. Right foot to the center, that's really going to help in this pose. Left leg bends, and if it feels right for you, straighten. And when you're ready, come down. Now work on any of those options that feel right for you. And so now what we're going to work on is this lotus pose up dog variation, which feels really, really good, especially if you have a nice and deep lotus pose. And so what we're going to do now is, whether you have a good lotus pose or not, bring your knees to the floor, lie down, and bring the soles of your feet together. Hands in front of you. And if that feels really nice and your knees are nice and comfortable, bring your elbows to the floor. Elbows to the floor, bring your shoulders back. And if that feels right, let's work on this up dog variation, which should feel really, really good. And just work on bringing your hips down to the floor. And so if we're now going to work on the lotus pose variation, what we're going to do now is, let's find a nice and comfortable and safe lotus pose. So right foot comes in, knee comes down, bring your heel to your navel, and then do the same with the left. And if we've got a very comfortable lotus pose, then we'll progress. Otherwise, do the previous version. So get your lotus pose, come to the back of the mat, you'll see why. Come over your knees and lie down. If there's any complaints by your knees, come out. But if this feels right for you, enjoy it, because it should feel really good. And if that felt right, come onto your elbows. Try to bring your shoulders back. And if that feels right for you, hands by your chest, come up, and let's find that up dog variation. Work on bringing your hips down, shoulders back, and really enjoy. And when you're ready, slowly come out.
I hope you enjoyed that video. If you've got any questions, any comments, let me know below. And if you're looking for another interesting progression, then check out this video here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.